Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we're going to be rebuilding some pop bumpers. We got the new light socket with the bulb installed. I made a video on how to correctly bend these tabs to make them totally 100% bulletproof. Today we're going to be assembling the whole pop bumper body on this Wildfyre made by Stern. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the pop bumper body. Second, don't forget this chrome ring like I just did on my other game, and assemble it completely and then take it apart. As you can see, today's date is 2/27/22. Don't worry, you will never ever see that through the pop bumper. You get the skirt, the spring, and then I don't know if you call it an end cap or base, probably base, and that goes on. You get these little posts that stick up right here where my finger is, and you got these that go right here. Those go down onto, and they kind of like push and then lock down onto it, kind of like snap, if you can get it to line up like that. What that does, it keeps your spring inside this housing here, so your skirt can bounce freely. That's a must. I just put a bunch of these together without this chrome, well actually two of them together, right here, and I forgot to put this chrome, yeah, that was mad. Alright, so we got this assembled like this. This is a little different because it's a Stern. Normally you would just do this right on top of the playfield, but Stern made it so they were like separate. I just need to straighten these out. I am reusing these sockets for two reasons. One, these sockets were really super good. They're original and they're strong. And two, the other reason is they're crazy super expensive right now. I want to put these screws in first. Just makes it a little easier getting them down without the light bulb assembly in it. These are also different too than what I'm used to using. Usually like on Williams, Gottlieb, and Bally, these screws are sit down into the body real nice and flush because they're wood screws and they're going into the playfield. But not on a Stern, they're going actually into a hunk of a metal base. Slide your light down, and where's my screwdriver? I'll take it and just push it down all the way with the screwdriver. Get it so it's nice and tight like that. Now we're going to flip it over. Hopefully these screws won't fall out. Now we got these metal, well, they're actually plastic slides that go over the bolts, screws. These allow it to go to the base. And this is why I say put the screws in first. For some reason they want to push out, and then light socket, we'll put that in last after we get this put together. And then the light socket just doesn't want to do its thing. So I'm actually going to screw these down. For some reason they like to screw into those long spacers, the white spacers. Sometimes they don't, some like that one just push down into it. So now you got these screws popping up through these spacers. Now we're going to take this. These spacers go to these threaded holes right here and right there, where you can see the tip of my thumb. These are what the wires are going to pop through on the light socket, and these long metal tabs are what the pop bumper chrome body is going to go through. So it's just going to go right through like that. Now you will center your screws onto these holes and tighten them down. I've been tightening them down a little bit on this one, a little bit on that one, just because it seems to be going down on a weird angle. Because one wants to go down a little bit and another one wants to stick into the spacer. So I've just been flip-flopping them back and forth. Doing a little bit down this one to bring it down. So you want to bring it down even. Almost perfectly down. That's tight. And that's tight. Now you got the whole assembly like this. You get your skirt that moves all good. This is going through these holes real nice and neat. Now we're going to take the light socket and push it down. We don't have to worry about those screws pushing it up and getting cockeyed in there. This I'm just going to push down with the screwdriver. Going to get down. Now I got to solder wires onto these. So we're going to just go over here. And you can watch me solder some wires on. I took the original wires and threw them in the garbage. They were just really like, just junky. I didn't like them. So they were old, all discolored and everything. So I just took them and threw them in the garbage. The stuff I'm dipping the wire in is called flux. It's like a cleaner preparer. It helps the solder stick and conform to the metal. It's like a primer almost. I just like the way that sits. It's weird like that. But yeah, it's like a primer almost if you think about it. Now we got the wires attached. They're good and solid. We can go like this. Set that there. Upside down. We'll take a 9-volt battery. And hook it up to it. You can see it's all nice and lit up. This is a Comet. If I can hold the wires on there good. Rich. It's just a warm white frosted bulb. I think it's a 2SMD. I put LED bulbs in all my pop bumper assemblies just because they last. They don't break after a while. I just like them in there. We're going to put these underneath to get them out of the way because we're flipping over the playfield. I'm getting all this out of the way. Throw my phone over there. Throw this over here. We will move you. I got nothing in the way. Nope. No screws or nothing falling. Alright. We will do this one right here to make it easiest for you to see. We will be readjusting the switches, getting all that done. I will need to get my clippers to clip the pop bumper off of the harness so we can install it back on. And what number does this say? This is 1. See how I got 1 right there, and then I got 1 right here. You notice you got a 2 there, and then 3 doesn't have nothing on it. So this should have a 2. Yeah, it's right there. That way I know that my assemblers all are in the right order. The reason why I did that is because the Chicago Coin Casino I did was so generous with the length of their wires. It was very easy to move one pop bumper from the middle and put it on to the right side of the playfield, and vice versa. So when you hit the right pop bumper, it activates the middle one. Very neat how they did that, wasn't it? Alright, now this is just going to go back on like this. It doesn't matter if it goes on like this or like that really, but it's got the old stands on it, and it's got the 3 screw holes here, so I know it originally went on like this. So I'm just going to drop it down like that. And then we had some wood screws that held it down. I will also have to reattach the power wires too. I don't remember exactly where they go yet. I will have to look. No, that's not the right screw, I don't believe. I will have to look to see where they went. I don't exactly remember. I know there should be wires around here. Oh, that's it. They went to here. Right there where my finger is. Now I remember. So we will put those on. There. Alright, we will have to get these wires out of the way. This has to get moved because it's laying right on top of where I have to solder. There we go. So we got red wires right here and white wires right here. There you go, you can see it a little bit better. The red wire will go right here and the white wire will go right there. Pretty simple, isn't it? Kind of neat how stern is that. Let's add a little bit of solder back to it. Take my red wire. Get it right in there. There's a lot of solder I left on there, but oh well. I know I'm blocking you, but in a second you'll see it. Here we go. See, they're back in, and I'll just rinse and repeat for each other wire. Now here's the trick. I want these to land in between this. So we'll take this and get this back out of our way. When I put this here, I don't want it to get binded at all with any of this. I think I'm just going to have to move this whole wiring harness just to really get it out of my way. There, that's a little bit better. There. That's fully out of my way now. Alright. So these I want to have the wires route so they're not going to be banging into anything. And they look like they'll route pretty good where they're not going to be interfering with anything. Alright, let's get our playfield switch back down. Now you notice this is cone shaped. We need this exact center to line back into the exact center of that. So what we're going to do is I got a really trick method for this. I need to get these screws almost tight. There we go. That's pretty good. Now we're going to use a non-powered screwdriver. And I'm going to take this switch. I'm going to hold it tight with my finger right into the middle of the skirt. I'm going to tighten this first one down. I think that just was perfect right away. It seems like it. Yep. That went perfect right away. If you put pressure on it like that, it will hold the switch stack in the right perfect spot. So as it moves around, it will center right in itself. And if this was cockeyed in any way, now you can see it is. Let me get you a little bit closer. Hopefully you can see. When I retighten it down, now watch the yellow. See how it moved? It just moved ever so slightly. It's not centered anymore when I tighten that other one down. So what we're going to have to do is loosen these both up a little bit. I'm going to tighten the back one down. I'll hold it tight right here. This is how I do it. You don't have to do it my way. Yeah, see, we still got a little bit off. So we're going to loosen that back one back up just a little bit. And we got the front one. How tight is that? So when we push it down, this has to come up a little bit. Now I can see it's just moving ever so slightly. This is the tricky part, getting this perfect again. That's the fun part. I think we got it. And tighten down all the way. Yeah, see now how it moved again. What are we doing when we do that? We're bringing it back. This is always the fun part. Is just getting this perfect again. Just getting the spoons perfect. And I just bumped you. I think we got it. Yeah, we're getting a little movement out of it still. What's it doing? It's still going backwards. Is this tight down all the way? Let's do this. See if this has any movement. I need to get this assembly back a little further. No, it doesn't have any movement. So yeah, we're gonna have to play with that switch yet. Okay, this is tight. How much are we moving? Well, I'd like to get this done in a couple of minutes. Still a little movement. It's got to go up. That's the whole thing. The switch has to go forward. That's on the money now. See, as I lift it up, the skirt isn't moving anymore. So we got to adjust it all the way. Now whatever I do, it will make that switch fire. But that switch needs to be adjusted now. It is way too close. Way too closed. I'll take this, open it up a little bit. Not that much. I want it to have how much of a gap? I want it to have a really thin gap on it. The thinner the gap you can get it, the more sensitive the pop bumper is. But I don't want it to get so tight we may machine gun. What do I got that's probably like if you took a business card and folded it in half, that thickness I want. Or if you have a, here we go, this will work even better. Where do we go? There we go. If you have a flipper adjustment tool, that's like the perfect gap to have in there. See, we're a little tight. No, we're not. Yes, we're just a little tight. That is a great gap. We're a little bit too loose now. I believe that's it now. A little bit tighter. That's another super fine adjustment. There we go, that's perfect. Just enough. You get any little bump out of that, a good bump, and you're gonna fire that pop bumper. So yeah, if you got a flipper tool, but you can see how thick it is. So yeah, if you can get one of these, use it. That is great for adjusting. Alright, we got that. Our wires will be out of the way. Next, we're taking our pop bumper. We need to get these two screws right here up through these, this hole and that hole. Some of these machines got washers, some of them don't. This one doesn't. I'm actually going to take the white wire and put it that way, and the red wire and put it through the other side. It just seems to really like that. Now these are nylock washers, nylock nuts. And I should have brought my magnet that was stuck to my leaf adjusting tool, because that always happens. You'll get your nuts back on there. There's one. And 2 would go on this side. And I'll just tighten them down. Tight. Tight. I guess we can back you out just a little bit. Now we're going to screw the base back down. And that use flathead screws. Don't know why. Using Phillips on everything else. But then this wants to go to a flathead screw. These are flathead screws with lock washers on them. So I'm just going to get these started. If I can. There we go. That's one started. That's 2 started. And then that's number 3 started. Now we'll just crank them down. These have 30,000 foot-pounds of torque. There we go. Now I'm just messing with you. Tighten them so they're tight. Tighten them too much, you'll snap them. If you really want the way to do it, use your less dominant hand. Like this. I'm using my left hand. I'm not left-handed. Tighten them with your left hand. Just, if you get them as tight as you can with your left hand, they're perfect. I learned that from a mechanic. I'm like, well, how do you know just not to over torque stuff? He goes, use your other hand. And get it, you know, nice and snug with your other hand. And then you got it. And there we go. We have a Stern pop bumper back on, ready to go, do its job. Switch readjusted. All the wiring is completely out of the way. Nothing's going to touch anything. And it is free and clear. So if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, follow us at Mark's Basement Arcade on YouTube and Facebook, and well, I have Instagram too, but I don't use it that much, but you never know, I might. So, yep, just make sure that these wires are out of your way and nothing's going to get at them, and you'll be golden. So, thumbs up and later.